Welcome to training part 1. So we'll begin with the training. So basically, as you all are aware that you all have your separate user IDs and passwords to log in into the software. So this is the login page, that is Jampu.app. This is the URL where you can visit on your browser. You will land on the login page. Your mobile numbers will be your login IDs and your passwords. Now, if you don't have your password, you can go to forgot password page and get your password. So this is how you will log in into the software. Now there is another method, that is this is where you are coming to the browser and you are logging in. But we suggest you to download the desktop app so that you can directly operate it from your desktop as well. You don't have to come to the browser again and again. So the links have been shared with you already for how to download it on your desktop as well as on your mobile phones. So you can download that. And this is how the desktop app will look like. Like it will be pinged up to your taskbar, and this is how you will, like you can log in into the desktop app. If you mark yourself as simply logged in, it won't ask you the user ID password again and again. So you can use the desktop app as well. Now moving forward, yeah. So basically, as soon as you log in, you first see is your dashboard over here. Now we'll come to the dashboard section in the, later on when we cover the basic features, so that it will become more easier to understand all these things over here. So the first thing which comes over here is team page. That is wherein all of you have been added into the software. So this is the team page over here, wherein you can just visit this page to add all the team members into the software. Over here, I'll see all the members who have been added into the office. So this is the first step, that is adding your team members. Now the next step is adding the services. Whichever service you give to your clients, all those services you can create over here in the service master. And it might have already been done for your office if the data input is already done. So this page basically lists down all the services which you give to your clients. Now we will take one service from here. Suppose I take 3B. So now as soon as you open any service, the first thing what you see over here is the stage master. Now what is the stage master? So see, under a particular service, whichever services you give to your clients, under a particular service, you can create a set of steps or procedures which you follow in that service. So here you can see for 3B, we have created the 7 stages, like data finalization, return filing, and so on. So this is what you can also do, that is under each service, whatever steps, whatever procedure you follow, you can create stages based on that. How it will help you? So basically now onwards, whenever you will see the pending list, 3B is pending for which all clients. From now onwards, if you wish to see that 3B is pending for which all clients, you will be able to view it stage wise as well. That exactly at what stage it is pending for the client. Is like we have not received the data only from the client, or is it getting delayed from our end? So to know this further segregations, these stages will be useful because we have a report which will be generated based on the stages which you have created. Now the next thing is one more thing, like this, whatever stages you create over here, it gets copied to each and every task of 3B. So whichever task of 3B you'll be creating, the stages which you have created over here in the master will be copied to each and every task. Now the next thing over here is compliances. Now see, this compliance word, wherever you see it in the software, you should know that this compliance word comes in picture only for your recurring services or for your recurring task. So monthly, quarterly, yearly, whenever that work is repeated, only for those kind of work this compliance word will be used. Okay, so basically 3B is a recurring service. So that is why in this compliance section over here, you will find the list of the clients to whom you give this particular service. So 3B to whichever clients I give it, that client's list is shown over here. Now how this client list is shown over here? So basically during data import, these clients have been mapped with your service. Why you have to do that? I'll show you. So see, basically whatever service you give to your client, if it's a recurring service, the software should know that thing. Like every month or every quarter or every year, we repeat this work for this client. That is why this compliance mapping has to be done. To tell the software that it has to be repeated every month or whatever periodicity is there. So whenever you create any new client, obviously for your existing clients, you have mapped the compliances. But for the new client, whichever you will be creating into the software in future, you have to do that mapping of the service with that client. How to do that? So this is my client list page wherein I am doing all my clients over here. Suppose I just choose one client from here. So now for this client, whatever services we provide to this particular client, this in the compliance section, this add button is there, via which you will add all the services which you give to this client. You just have to select the periodicity over here and add it. So this is called as mapping the service to the client or adding the compliance to the client. You can also call that. Why it has to be done? As I mentioned, for your recurring services, it is important to do this. This will be the first step, because now onwards, whenever you will create the task, if that compliance is added to the client, then only the task creation will happen. Otherwise, it will give you the error. So for all your recurring service, you have to make sure you into that client, the compliance is added. This step is only once, you have to do it, because you can see over here the periodicity, it is valid till December 2100. Okay? So only once you have to do it. There are two methods of doing that. You come to the client and add the compliance over here one by one. Or else the another method is, if you have multiple clients which you have created and you want to give the same compliance to all those clients, you can select those clients from here and add the compliance at one go for all these clients. See, this step I am repeating again, it has already been done for all the data input which we have done. But for the new clients which we will be creating in the software, for those clients we will have to do this step. Okay? So this is that compliance section over here in the service, which we were seeing in the master. This is that compliance section, which is giving me the list of the clients that to all these clients we do 3B. Now the next option over here is team option. That is, if you have in your office, if this concept is followed, that for a particular service, particular members will only be working on that. Like 3B is there, we know that only these two members will be working on any client's 3B. Then you can add the team over here. That is, you can create default team members for this service. So that now onwards, whenever any task of this service will be created, these members who are assigned over here, like whom you have it in the default team, will be auto assigned this work. So if you have this concept in your office, then only you can create this team over here. Okay. So these are the things in the service master, the things which we have left out, to do, fields and subtasks. This will be covering in the next training session. This was your basic things. What we saw, we come to the service list page, wherein we see all the services which we give in the office. From here, you can select any particular service. When I select any particular service, the first thing which comes over here is the stages which we have created. The next thing which comes over here is the compliance section, that is to which all clients we provide the service. And if we have a particular team which is assigned to this service, then you can create that also over here. Now let us move to the client section. So see, all your clients, all your existing clients might will be already there in the account. So this is how you will also see the list of all your clients over here. Now below the clients, you can see there are some blue color words. Like if we take the first client, you can see below that client's name HUF, partner 1, B3. So these blue color words are there, as well as this green color words are also there. So what are these? So the blue ones over here are the categories, the partners, the branches which you assign to your clients. So to every client, you can give categories to your clients, as well as you can mention under which partner that client is. So if you have a partnership firm, you can mention that also, that this client belongs to which partner. If you have branches, you can mention that as well, that this client belongs to which branch. Okay. Now, why this, once you mention this, this will be useful to you in applying filters. Now, if I wish to see only show me all my clients who are individuals. So this is that list of clients. Or only show me all the clients who are under partner 1, or whatever name of the partner you give. So these are all the clients. So basically for applying filters, you can use these options: categories, profit centers and cost centers. Now, obviously, here you can see these are assigned to the client, but you have to create it somewhere, right? This HUF form, what you see over here, you have to create this somewhere. Where to create it? In the master. Now, where is the master? So this office configuration page is your master setup page, you can say. Over here, this category option is there. So here you will be creating those categories. Click on new button, select the type of the category. Like currently we were seeing it in the clients section. Like for clients, you can create the categories as individual, LLP, HUF, company, firm, and so on. In the similar manner, for any other work also, for any other category, like for any other section also, you can create categories over here. Okay. It will help you in applying filters. Then apart from category, two other options are there, that is profit center, wherein you will be mentioning the names of your partners, and cost center, wherein you will be mentioning the name of your branches. So once you create the master over here, then you will be allowed to assign it to your clients. Now this green color words over here, these are the tag words which you can give to your clients. Now what are tag words? Tag words are basically some words through which you can identify your clients. Like basically profession wise you can give the tag word, area wise, service wise, so that again it will help you in applying filters. Now suppose if I wish to see only show me all my clients who are directors, so now only that list of clients will be shown to me because I have given them the tag word as directors. So as many tag words as you want, you can assign it to your clients so that you can easily filter that set of clients. How to assign this tag words? Go into a particular client. At the top itself, you will find this option to add the tag word to the client. So from here, you can assign the tag word to the client. And where to assign the categories, profit center and cost center, these blue color words. So on the edit page, you can go and you can assign these things to the client. While creating the client also, you can assign these things, but if you skip it at that time, later on also by coming on the edit page, you can do it. Okay. Now, besides the client name, you will see the name of the group over here. Like for the first client, you can see Gupte and Sons. This is basically the group with which this client is associated with. Now, what is this group concept? Now, suppose if you work for a husband, wife, and their company, or be it the members of the same family, or any such kind of scenario is there, you can group them. That is, you will create one group, and in that group, all those clients will be added. So now all the details will be available to you at group level as well. For example, if I go to this first group, Gupta and Sons, so whenever I visit this group, now I'll see the information over here about all the clients which are there in this group. That is, if I wish to see which all clients are there in this group, so these 5 clients are there in this group. Then I can also see over here 86 tasks are pending for this group. That is, for all these 5 clients, the cumulative number is 86. Okay, so group wise also you will be able to view all the details. Obviously, individual client wise you will see all the details, but when you visit the group, you will be able to see it for that whole group also. So this is the advantage of the group concept, as well as while preparing invoice and all, you can prepare group invoice also. Okay. Now we will go to one of the clients from here. This was our client list page wherein we saw all our clients. Now we will go to one of the clients. And on this client, as soon as we come to this client, for every client, you will have this kind of dashboard. Currently, we are seeing it for Akash Gupte. So now on this page, I'll be able to view all the details of this client. In the similar manner, whenever you visit any other client, you will have the, like you will get to know about all the information about that client on that page. So what all things we can see over here? First thing is we can see over here which members are working on this client. So here this yellow color, this chips you can see over here, these are the names of the members who are currently working on this client. Then here we can see 63 tasks are going on for this client, 2 tasks are stuck, 64 are overdue, bills are pending for 7. So this all things you will see over here. That is all the pending scenario of this client. And everything over here is clickable. When I click on this 63, it will show me that 63 list of tasks. So these are those 63 tasks which are still pending for this particular client. On the right hand side, you can view the contact details of your client. Now, whichever contact details you save it over here, you have the option that you can send WhatsApp message by clicking on this WhatsApp icon over here. So see, usually what happens, whenever you have to send WhatsApp message to someone, you have to save that number in your phone. But over here, the advantage is that it is not necessary to save the number. Even if you have not saved the number, by clicking over here, directly your WhatsApp chat or WhatsApp web will open up over here. And this all things which I am showing you over here, these things are available on the mobile app as well. So I hope all of you have downloaded the mobile apps. We have Android, iOS, both the apps available. So these features you can more conveniently use from your mobile phones, like this WhatsApp feature or this calling feature, wherein when you click on this calling icon, your dialer screen will appear up directly. Now coming to the document management part of this client. So for this client, whatever documents I have with me, how I can manage that. So first is for your physical documents, like for this client, whatever physical files, hard copies which are kept in the office, for that I can maintain a record over here that where that thing is kept in the office. The location I can mention over here, which drawer, which shelf, or whatever names you give. Okay, so that any person searching it will easily know that, okay, for this client, this document is kept over here. Now, the documents which have expiry dates, like the DSCs and all, for that you can maintain the expiry date also over here. So that again a report will be there which will help you in tracking the expiry dates. Okay? So you can maintain the expiry dates of your documents also over here. This option is there for your physical inventory. That is, these are the documents which are kept in the office. So over here, you can just mention the location of that document, like exactly where it is there in the office. Now, coming to the digital documents, the documents which you have it on your server or your local network. So for that, there are two options. One option is the shortcut option. Here, what you can do is wherever that document is there. See, usually how offices maintain the documents, you have your server or your local drive, local network. On that, you have different folders for each of your clients. And in that folder, you have all the documents related to that client. So whenever I have to open any document, what I have to do? I have to follow the same process. I have to go to the server, search the folder, and locate the document. Instead of that, you can just copy that part of the document and paste it over here. So that the time which is gone in searching that document in your system will be reduced. From here itself, you can open that document. So here you can see I have saved this link of the document. So when I click over here, directly that document will open from here itself. Okay. So one thing to note, you are not putting the documents over here. You are just mentioning the part of that document, so that easily you can open it from here itself. As the name suggests, it will act as a shortcut to your document. I'll show you how to add this. I'll give you one example. So suppose I have something in my C drive or wherever. So wherever I have any document, what I can do is just copy that part of that document and paste it over here in Jamku. So I can paste the path over here so that next time onwards, whenever I have to open that document, simply by clicking over here, I can open that document. So these options are available for every office. Now there is an optional feature over here that is to upload your documents on the cloud. So this is an additional feature. If you have taken this feature for your office, then you can use this option wherein you can save the documents directly on the server and you can download it from wherever you require. So here you can simply drag and drop your file. So this was about the document management part. Now moving forward over here, anything you wish to edit about the client, edit page is there. Now there is this profile section wherein you can save all the information regarding this client. Whatever information you have with you, that thing you can add it in the profile section. In this also, most of the data, like in the data import itself, most of the information we bring it over here. Now there is a password feature also over here, wherein if you have usernames, passwords for your clients, that also you can maintain it over here. Like you have usernames, passwords for different portals. So that thing also you can save it over here, so that From here itself, when you click on this income tax, GST, or whichever portal's username password you're saving, when you click over here, it will directly take you to the login page. And you can just copy paste the username password by a single click. So when I click on the username, it gets copied. Over here, I can simply do Control V. So it will get pasted over here. Now see, for this usernames, passwords, again, if you have not done the data input, like if you have not brought these things through data input, you can manually also add this thing. So when you will be adding it, this add button is there. Now over here, you will see this drop down over here, but for your office, it will be a blank one because till now, none of the username passwords have been added. So that is why it will be a blank drop down. So first you have to create it in the master. The password type, you have to create it in the master. So this view button is there over here. So from here, you can create the password type and mention the URL of that. Okay. Once you create the password type over here, like income tax, GST, or whatever, then next time onwards, automatically this drop down will be shown over here, like how it is showing in this account in the similar manner. So you just select the type, mention the username, password, and save it. So this was all about this client management part. Like we came into this client and we saw all the details regarding this client. Now we'll go back to the client list page. Over here now see, currently we saw everything about the existing clients. But what if I have to create a new client? So how to create that? So this plus client button is there. So from here, you can create a new client over here. Just put the name of the client and you have to mention the name of the group also, because we already discussed every client will be associated with a group. So you have to mention the name of the group also. Now see, if that group is already there in the software, that is group is already there and you are just creating a new client in that group. So you can just toggle off this switch and you will find that group list over here in the drop down. So you can simply select the group over here. Like for this group, I am creating a particular client. And continue. PAN card number, date of birth, this category, these are optional. Later on also you can fill these details. So this is how the client will be created. Now the first step after creating the client will be, as we already discussed, you go in that client and you add the compliances to that client. That is, add the services which you give to that particular client. Now on this client list page, you will find on the right hand side, these icons are there. These are actionable icons. When I wish to see the contact details of this client, from here itself I can view it. The next two icons are for the documents. One is mentioning the link of the document. Next is the folder option, that is mentioning the physical inventory over here. You can select multiple clients also from here. And you can perform bulk actions. That is, now in bulk actions, what all things come up? So first is giving the tag word to this client, to all these clients basically. If I want to give the same tag words to all these clients, I can select them and give the tag word at one go. Adding tasks for these clients, which we will cover in the task management part. Adding compliance, which we already saw. Sending emails will be covering in the next training session, or deleting the clients. So this is like how you can select multiple clients and perform bulk actions. Now see, suppose if you no longer provide service to a particular client, so what will you do? You will delete that client, but we also have an option that instead of deleting, you just go to that client. On the edit page, you deactivate that client. So over here is active, under is active section, you will select no over here. So basically, instead of deleting, you can deactivate the client so that whatever records you have of that client, like all the past information, will always be there in the system. Because deleting will delete all the information, but deactivating will keep all the past information, and in future, whenever you wish to activate it again, just by a single click, you can do that. Now on this page at the top, you will find this toggling switch over here. Card has been written over here. So currently everything over here is in the card format. That is, for every client, separate card is there. Suppose if you are not comfortable using this format, you can quickly switch to the tabular format as well. So now this will give you the same feel as Excel. filtering and all also you can do it like how you do it in your Excel. So if you are not comfortable with the card format, you can switch to the table format as well. Now this cloud icon which you see over here on the top right, this is basically showing me that when was this page refreshed last time. So it was 20 minutes back. When I click over here, it will be refreshed again. Anything you wish from this page, you can take it into Excel as well. So this Excel icon is also there. So from here, you can take the things into Excel. So this was all about your client management part. What we saw the client list over here, what information we see over here on the client list. We saw the filtering capabilities over here. Then we went into one of the clients and we saw everything about this client over here, be it the documents, the profiles, the password, the pending work, and so on. And we saw how to create a new client and add the service to that client. Now let us move to the task management part. So coming to this task list page, obviously see on the client list page, you will see the list of the clients. On the group list page, you will see the group list of your groups. Similarly, on the task list page, you will see all your tasks. Now see, what is a task? So any work you do for your client, it will be called as a task over here. For example, GSTR 3B Feb 2020 for client A will be one task. Similarly, GSTR 3B March 2020 for the same client will be another task. So ideally, any job you do for your client, it will be called as a task over here. Now see, a task, whichever task you create in the system, we will see how to create the task, but whichever task you create in the system, each and every task will have 4 kind of status options: going, completed, stuck, ignore. By default, when you create the task, it will be in the going state. Once you complete it, you can mark it as completed. Now stuck will come into picture wherein like the work is not progressing further because of any reason. So you can mark the task as stuck, and the reason over here will be compulsory to mention. Like why you are putting this task in stuck state. And ignore will come into picture wherein suppose you have created the task but you don't want to do this work for this client for this quarter. So you can simply ignore that. So this kind of 4 status options will be there for every task, and these 4 color codes are also there. So for each status option, we have different color codes. Green for the going, blue for the completed, and so on. And this is followed throughout the software. Against the task also, on the leftmost corner, you will find this color options. Like the first task has a green color on the leftmost corner. A vertical bar you will see over here. So this is also indicating me that the work on this task is going on. When I wish to see the completed ones, I can simply like click on this C over here. So now it will show me only the completed ones. When I wish to see the stuck ones, I can filter in that manner also. So it will only show the stuck ones now. Now this was about the status option to the task. Now every task, whichever task you create, will also have 4 kind of date options. See, one will be the creation date. Whenever you create the task, it will take that creation date. Now, so here over here, the first date which you see over here, 2nd July, this is the creation date of the task. Now next will be the target date. See, before target date, I will cover the due date part. So see, you have government defined due dates and all. So for every task, you will mention that also. The due date, you will mention it over here. Now this will be your government defined due date. But there is an option to mention target date as well. This will be your internal due date, you can see. That internally, when do you want this work to be completed? So that target date you can put over here. So the task will have the target date as well. So for this work, the target date is also 2nd of July. Then the next one over here is 3rd of July. This is the due date of the task. Target date is optional to mention, okay? Due date will be compulsory to mention in every task, but target date will be optional. Creation date will be taken on the date which you create the task. Now the 4th date option over here is completion date. When I mark this work as completed, it will take that completion date over here. So you can see 4th of July. Now this is the completion date. So this 4 gate options will be there for every task. Now, what are things you see over here into a particular task? So you can see the name of the task. Below the name of the task, you will find the name of the team members, again in yellow color, like which members have been assigned this task. Besides the task, you will find the name of the client, and besides that, you will find the name of the group. Now, on the right hand side, you will see this actionable icons over here. So, what are this? So, the first one over here, this blank circle over here, this indicates the billing status, like whether this task is billed or left for billing or partially billed. So, you can see over here, this one, this half circle over here means it is partially billed, and this green tick over here into a circle, you can see tick also. So, this means this task is being billed. So the first icon over here indicates the billing status of the task. The next icon over here, this is now an optional feature again. You can use this feature if you require in your office. Basically, this is the verification option. Like after the members who are working on that task have completed the task, the senior or the admin person or the partners can verify that task. What they can do, they can just see if everything is done proper and all, then they can put their verification note over here. So whatever verification note you wish to put, just put it and verify it. So now you'll find it, previously it was in blue color, now it has turned to green color. So this means that the work has been verified. Now verification, as I said, it is an optional feature. So if you want to use this option, that once the members have completed, the seniors or the admins will verify it, then you can use this option. Verification will be the last option in the task, you can say. Because after this, once you have verified the task, now nobody will be allowed to edit that task till the time you unverify it again. So verification will make the task as read only. That is, you can just see the things in that task, but nobody will be allowed to edit anything in that task because it has been verified. Now the third option which you see over here, this is most important one, wherein you will be putting your work entry over here. On whichever task you have worked on, just click on that and update your work input. This is very important thing to do because via this only all the things will be calculated, that how much time is getting invested in this clients or how much time is getting invested in each of the service in the office. So if you make your work entry, then only this reports will be generated. And how to make your work entry? Just come to that task and click on this clock icon to update your work over here. Anything you wish to edit about the task, that is, suppose the task is completed, or suppose the due date has been changed. I want to edit it. So this pencil icon is there, which will allow you to edit the work. This last option over here is for document linking. Again, as we discussed at the client level, that wherever you have the documents in the server or wherever, that document you can just copy the path and paste it. So that thing can be done at client level also, as well as at task level also. So this is the option for that. Now you can select multiple tasks again, and you can perform bulk actions. What kind of bulk actions? That is adding the team members to all these tasks or removing the team members, updating the status, like all the work has been completed and at one go I want to mark all my tasks to be completed. Just select them and update the status. Change dates. If the government has changed the due date for anything, you can accordingly change the due date at one go for all those tasks. So this kind of bulk actions you can perform on your task. Now see, on the left hand side where you see the name of the task over there, below the name of the task, as we already discussed, you will find the names of the team members. Now below that you will find some other things also, the color chips. Attention, ATT needed, ATT allow. Now what are this? So these are labels which you can give to your task. Remember what we discussed at client section, that you can give tag words to your clients. In the similar manner, this label feature also works. That is, you can give labels to your task. Now, how to give that label? So suppose I am working on any particular task. Now I feel that this task requires my partner's attention or my senior's attention. So how will I convey it to them? So I can give labels to the task. Whatever labels have been created for me in the master, that labels I can use it over here. So now it will become very easier for you to apply filter. If I wish to see only show me all my attention needed tasks, so only that list will be filtered out. You can see over here, out of more than 1700 tasks, this 36 tasks have been filtered out. And I will also know that I just have to focus on this 36 tasks now. So this was the label option. Now this labels, as I said, you can like this drop down will be available to you whenever you wish to give the label to any particular task. Click on this icon. This drop down will be available to you over here. But now, from where you are getting this drop down? Again, it have anything like something has to be done at the master level. So you can create labels at the master. Where is your master? In your office configuration page. So over here, this label master option is there wherein you can create labels over here. Whatever you create over here, those labels can only be used by your members or by everyone in the office. Now, the next thing what is important on this page is filtering. See, you will see all your task list and all over here. But this is ultimately one of the important pages of the software. Because to view all your pending work, you just have you will have to come to this page. So how we can filter this page? You can see over here I have more than 1700 tasks. How will I apply filter on this page? How will I search for the task which I am looking for? So there are multiple options of filtering. I'll show you few of them, and the rest of them, this YouTube videos are there where you can refer that. So the first option is, suppose I wish to see only show me all the 3B tasks. So only that task list will be filtered out. Now in this also, suppose I wish to see show me 3B for a particular group or a particular client only, for say Adhikari. So now it is showing me 3B for Adhikari. You can see 76 tasks are there. Now amongst this also, I wish to see only for the period of January. So 8 tasks have been filtered out. Now in this also, I wish to see only where the work has been stuck. Only the task where the work has been stuck. So this is that particular task. So what I am trying to show you, I'm trying to show you that whatever things you wish to search, you can type it over here. And in any order, you can type this. You type the client name first, then the service name, then the task name, or in any order. There are many such filter queries available. This was just one option. Next is that if you wish to see, show me all my all my tasks which have their due dates in this month. So now you can see 62 tasks have been filtered out which have the due date in this month. Then if I wish to see only show me all the tasks where none of the member has been assigned, that is all the unassigned tasks. So these are all the unassigned ones. So basically this kind of filter queries, you can use it for easily applying filters on this page. If you're not comfortable typing it over here, same things you can filter it out from this drop down as well. So the same things you can select from here and apply the filters. Team wise also filtering can be done. Show me Pooja's task or show me Hina's task. So in that manner also you can apply the filters over here. Then category, branch wise, partner wise, this as we already discussed on the client section. Same things are available over here also. So these are just few options of applying filters. Obviously, for more options, you can refer this YouTube videos which we have put over here on the same page. The link is given to that. So you can refer that and you can get to know about the other filtering options. Now on this page also, you can toggle the switch and switch to the table format as well if you require. Now one more thing on this page which is there, which you can do on your task, that is the stages. Remember what we discussed at the master level in the beginning, like on this services page, when you go into any particular service, you can create these stages over here. And I also mentioned that whatever you create over here will be copied to each and every task of 3B. So we will check over here on this task list page, you will just filter out one 3B task over here. So when I click on this progress bar over here, I'll find that same list of changes which have been created at the master level. Your duty will be only to whenever you have whenever you have completed any work, like data has been received, you will just toggle this switch over here. So see, three things you have to do on your daily basis on your task. Whenever you come to your dashboard, you will see all your pending work on your dashboard itself. So from here, you can go to that task. I can see the 16 tasks have been given to me. I can just go to the 16 tasks. Next step is whenever I have worked on that, I'll update my work entry over here. If the task has been completed, I can mark the task as completed also from here. And the third thing over here is the stages. If stages are there in that task, I'll just select them. Like whenever any stage is completed, I'll just select those options. Like mark the stage as completed from here basically. So this was all about your task list page. Now we will take one of the tasks from here. We'll just take one of the tasks, and by going into that task, what all details we can view about that task. So we'll consider that over here. So when I go to any particular task over here, you can see this is of this period, GSTR 3B for this particular client, which member is working, that also you can see over here. Then over here, you will find the list of the same stages which we saw in the previous section. Now, one additional thing is there over here, that is note option. Now see, whatever changes you do on any of the tasks, everything will be recorded in that task. We can see over here, team member Darshana was assigned to the task. Who assigned it? She herself assigned herself. That is, it was assigned by Darshana on 1st of June at this time. Next thing you can see, status of this task was changed from going to completed by this member on this day. So whatever changes you do on any of the tasks, everything will be recorded over here in the notes section. Automatically, this records will be there. If you wish to put any custom notes, this add button is there through which you can add your custom notes. Now, the next thing what you see on this page is any documents if you have linked with that task. Then what is the due date, the target date, and all those things you see over here. Now, this to-do fields, this we will cover in the next training session. Then coming to work done, whichever member has entered work input in this task will appear over here. Anything you wish to edit about this task, this edit page is there where you can edit the thing. If you wish to upload any documents into this task, you can use the file upload option. So this was about your task part. Now this again, we solve everything for the existing task only. How you will create the task now? So see, there are two methods of creating the task. Either you create the task one by one, that is, you click on this plus task button over here, select the service from the drop down. Suppose I wish to create this task. Now for which client you are creating the task, so that also you have to select it from here. So what we are doing currently, we are creating one task for one client. That is why we are selecting the service also, and we are selecting the client also. Due date, as I mentioned earlier also, it will be compulsory to mention over here. Target date will be optional. And then just save this task. After you have saved this task, next option is to assign the team member to this task. So to whichever person you wish to assign this task, you can assign all those members over here. You can add as many team members as you want in a particular task. Okay. So this is how you create the task, one task for one client. Now the next option is bulk creation. That is, you have a set of clients and you wish to create the same task for all those clients. Like in what scenario this comes? This comes for your recurring services. Like 3B, if you do every month for your clients and you have 100 clients for whom you do 3B. So obviously, for all those 100 clients, the task will be created at one go. How to do that? So there is this page over here through which you will be creating the task. This compliance dashboard report is there. When you come to this report, just switch off this toggle switch. That is, switch this to non-compliance. And over here, for all your monthly, your quarterly, your yearly services will be displayed over here. Your job is just to click on the number of clients, because the software will already the software will provide you the list of clients. That if I wish to create for June, I wish to create 3B tasks. Okay. So here you can see against 3B for June month, I have the 78 clients for whom I have to create the task. So this list will already be there against each of the service. When you want to create the task, just click on that, select the 78 clients and add the task at one go. So I'll just select over here. Due date, you will have to mention it over here. Target date is optional. Continue. And now, before creating the task, there is this option over here. Copy target date from previous task, copy team members from previous task. What are these options? So see, now what I have done over here, due date is 20th for 3, and target date I am putting as 15th. Okay. Now every month same thing will be there. Like target date, you will, if you want every month to be the 15th of that month. So what you can do is you can take this option over here. Copy target date from previous task. So the same target dates which you have given for the month of May or like that, same will be copied over here. Similar feature is there that copy team members from the previous task. See, I have already assigned the members to the previous months for all these clients for 3B. If I want the same members to work for this month also, so I can simply copy the team members also. Just mention over here the period, like from where I wish to copy. So suppose I want to copy it from the month of May. So that thing you can mention and start task. So this is the step which you have to do for creating the task in bulk. I'll just repeat it once again. You come to this compliance dashboard over here, switch to the non-compliance over here. You will have the list of the clients over here. Just click on that, select these clients from here and add a task. Okay. So this is the option for bulk creation of tasks. And assignment of the task in bulk also you can do that. Come to this page, select those tasks and use this add team member option to assign the work to all this. Okay. So this is the task management part. What we saw this task list page over here, all the tasks, we saw the actionable icons, we saw the filtering options. We went into one of the tasks and we saw all the details of that task and we saw how to create the task. Now let us move to the dashboard, which we skipped in the beginning. So as soon as you log in, what you see on your dashboard is all your pending work, target date wise as well as due date wise. So over here, task target date is the option. So here you will find all your pending work which has been given to you based on the target date. You can see for today, none of the work is pending for me. For this week, one task is pending. I can simply click on that, know about that task, work on that, and accordingly finish that work. So all your pending work will be shown to you over here, target date wise, and on this calendar, you will see your pending work due date wise. So if I see over here, on 8th of this month, I can see one task is pending, one reminder is pending. So this means that this work has been assigned to me. It is pending and the due date also on 8th of this month. Again, I can click on it and I can get the list of that, like which is that particular task. Here you will see the reminder option. Now see, you will be creating tasks and all for your clients, but there might be some small jobs, like that is collecting check from any client or sending emails to a particular set of clients or having a discussion with any particular client. So for all these small jobs, you can create reminders over here. So you can click on create button, put the name of the reminder. Then over here, remind date is the option that from which date you want this to remind you. So whatever remind date you put, from that date, this reminder will come on your dashboard. Then you can assign team members also in a reminder. So if you want this reminder to be displayed on some other person's dashboard as well, then you can mention those names also over here. If you don't mention any name over here, it will be shown to everyone in the office. Okay. So in reminders also you can assign team members. Whenever you have completed the reminders, just like whenever you have completed any reminder, just toggle this switch. It will disappear from your home page. Then the next thing what you see over here is your work entry. Whatever work entry you have done on your task for today and for yesterday, it will be displayed over here. Since I have not done any work entry, that is why it is showing 0 hours over here. Now the last thing what you see on your dashboard is services. Service-wise segregation of the pending work. Whatever work is pending in the office, service-wise you can view it over here. So I can see for Activator projects, 3 tasks are pending. For advanced checks, 9 tasks are pending. When I click on that, it will show me that list of the tasks. These are those 9 tasks. So this is your dashboard. Now see how you will operate the things. As soon as you log in, you come to your dashboard. Here you will see what work you have to do, what work is lined up for you based on the due date or based on the target date. So you just simply have to click on that number, have a look at the task, work on that, and accordingly update it over here. So see, even if you have been given 10 tasks for a particular day, it should hardly take 10 minutes of your time to update it over here. Now the last thing what we will discuss today is marking your attendance. So you come to this attendance page and you can mark your attendance from here by putting your in time. Okay. So in this manner you can mark your attendance. And while leaving the office, you can mention your out time and update it. So in time and out time will be captured while marking the attendance. There is an option to create categories as well in the attendance. Now where to create this category? As you know, on the office config page. So attendance category is the option wherein you can create several categories also for attendance like work from home, sick leave or whatever. So that while marking the attendance, the team members can select the category and then mark the attendance. So suppose if I select work from home and the in time I can mention over here. And I can mark myself as present. And while leaving from the office, I can mark it as out time over here. So this is how you will mark your attendance. So this were all the basic features through which you can start using the software. What all things we covered today. We covered how to add the team members in the software through the team page over here. Then we saw the service master over here. We came to the service page. We saw the services over here. Then we went to the client page to understand everything about the client management. That is how to create, how to update clients. Then we saw about the task management part, how to create the task, how to update the task, how to look at your pending work, how to filter that page. Lastly, we discussed about the dashboard, what all things you see in a dashboard, and how to mark your attendance. So this was the part 1 training of the software. Now once you are comfortable with these features, then you can attend the part 2 training, wherein we'll be covering some features which are advanced, which we have skipped in this training, and the reporting part and the billing part.